Hey everybody, and welcome to the D&D podcast. Today I wanted to talk about the spell Wish, the 9th level conjuration spell that people always think is the most powerful spell that there is because you can warp reality, you can make anything happen, you just say it and it becomes true. I wanted to clear up a bit of the confusion surrounding that. Although Wish is a very powerful spell, it is not nearly as powerful as everyone believes it to be. People think it's like when Aladdin rubbed the lamp and the genie gave him 3 wishes and he could do everything except for a select few things. That couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, there are a lot of limitations on this spell. For example, you can't just wish to be the richest person in all of existence, because it specifies you can only create one object up to 2,500. 25,000, not 2,500, 25,000 gold pieces. An object worth 25,000 gold pieces or less. And so basically, you can only get 25,000 gold pieces. You can't get infinite money or unlimited resources. You definitely have a limit, and you can't just say you can't even heal everyone let's just say in the world, because you can only heal 20 creatures with it. Another thing it specifies is you can only grant resistance to one type of damage of your choosing. It does go into a lot of specifications like that. And at the end of the day, basically the DM has to do a ruling. And if you do not specify exactly what you want and how you want it, the DM will find loopholes in your words to kind of make your wish go wrong. For example, if you just say, I wish to teleport home. Now, you may teleport there, but you may be inside of a wall. You may be 500 feet above your home and fall into it. You may just teleport there and you're dead. Because you didn't specify you wanted to be there alive. Just things like that, minute details that you think would be implied, you will have to specify. And as a DM, one time, my players were lucky enough to get a wish on a random loot table. It's a long story for that, but I'll cover that at a different time. And because they knew about this, because we've had long discussions about this before, they were in a really tough situation, and they needed to plane shift back to the material plane. So, and they weren't powerful enough to cast the spell plane shift, so they had to use their wish. And they spent about 10 minutes writing down the specifics of the wish, to the point where I could not find a way. They gave me a page and a half about what their wish was. And it was airtight and it was granted because it wasn't too powerful. What they wanted was the equivalent of a 7th level spell, and they successfully plane shift back to reality. But most people don't think about to sit down and write a page and a half just to cast a wish. Most people just think, I wish to be, let's say I wish to be the strongest person there is. But if you are the strongest person there is, maybe your body collapses in on itself because you were the weakest person and you can't handle all that gain all at once. Or something dumb like that. That's not exactly a good example, but I think you see where I'm coming from. Say if you wish someone to appear in front of you, they might be hanging from a tree, or they might appear dead in another horrific way. Not to mention there is a part at the very end of the spell, of the description. Every time you cast this spell, there's a massive strain put on your body, because it still is a very powerful spell despite all of the limitations. Every time you cast, for a while, you will have to, I believe it's until you finish a long rest. Every time you cast a spell, you take 1d10 necrotic damage per level of the spell. And your strength drops to 3 for 2d4 days, which is basically your muscles have atrophied and you can't move. That's what having your strength at 3 is the equivalent of. It doesn't get much lower than that. Maybe adrenaline, you could flop around a little, but you're not going to really be moving with that. And also, there's a 33% chance that you will never be able to cast it again, because of all of the stress you have suffered from the initial casting of it. It's a very powerful spell, don't get me wrong, and it can do a lot. It can cause massive amounts of damage. You can heal from it. You can make a lot of things with it. But there are so many limitations that it's worth looking at twice instead of just jumping towards it. Especially for the fact that you may never be able to cast it after the initial casting of it. So that's the end of this video. I just wanted to clear a few things up about the spell Wish. It's not the genie wish that everyone seems to think it is, but it is still powerful nonetheless. That's all for this video. Give me a like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, roll well.